Hi everyone, my name is Britton Klein, and welcome to this week's edition of Marketing Minutes by Scuba Diving Industry Magazine.
And I'm William Klein, publisher, and if you're a dive company out there watching this and you'd like to come on our show, reach out to Britton or I, and we'd love to have you on the show. So
That's right.
Who do we have today, Britton?
Today, our special guest is Scott Sanders, the sales representative for TUSA and the owner of Dive Shop Services. Scott, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today, Scott. Britton, so Scott and I go way back, actually, way back to our Bahamas days, actually, with the Ministry of Tourism. So I've known Scott for a long time, and he's a pilot also, so we share a lot of common interests, so I can't wait to dig into today's show.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, man. And Scott, thank you again. I know you're really busy, and we're honored to have you here. So just to kind of jump right into things, TUSA has had a very, very long history of innovation, like being the first to introduce a crystal silicone mask, skirts, as well as vibrant lens colors. How have these innovations resonated with your retail customers, and what sort of feedback have you heard from divers?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So TUSA is an interesting company in the dive industry. It's still family owned. So 70 years ago, TUSA was started by a guy named Tabata in his garage over in Japan, and since then has grown to a worldwide brand known for, high quality products, lots of colors, lots of fun. And today, I think as you go around to a lot of dive shops, it's one of the most fun, interesting brands on the wall. Some of the innovations within the TUSA masks are things like really high quality silicone skirts that enable a really good fit. They all have a 3-year warranty, so we're very confident in the brand.
That's unusual.
Innovations such as like this fitting ring here allows this mask skirt to fit to a lot of different faces. So on top of the colors, the clear glass, we've also got UV filters in the glass, so it's kind of like wearing sunglasses. So lots of really fun features that, give TUSA an edge and sort of lead the industry with innovation.
Totally.
No, that's very cool. I know that you maintain a 9001 certification across all your designs. How important is that level of quality assurance when you're talking to a dive shop and they're trying to decide what lines they should stock?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, since TUSA is a family-owned company, we own the manufacturing facilities, so we can control all the manufacturing process. And that's different than some other brands who, either hire us or other manufacturers to produce the product and then to put their brand on it. So the best stuff that comes out of our factories are the ones that say TUSA, and that's what we get in the hands of retailers to make sure the customers are getting the highest quality products. If it wasn't for that quality assurance, we wouldn't be able to do things like having the polish on the inside of the skirt that just makes this a really, really comfortable, well-fitting mask. It also enables us to give a good warranty, something that, customers can rely on. As we move from everybody used to go to their local store, their brick and mortar, and, trust their scuba instructor to try on and fit the perfect mask. We're moving into a more digital world where people go to Amazon and online retailers first. And I really see retailers struggling to adapt to build the right tools so that new divers aren't overwhelmed and they can have a better understanding, a better confidence of what they're buying, that it's going to fit, that it's going to last a long time. And, our manufacturing process is the cornerstone of all that.
Totally. Wow. So from masks to fins to regulators and BCDs, TUSA offers what feels like a full spectrum lineup. How does having one cohesive brand for the full suit, in your own words, how does that benefit both your sales strategy, but also your diver training program as well?
Yeah. So, the products that TUSA manufacturers are really, really good at. That's the mask, snorkel, fins, and a few others. We also produce swim goggles over in Japan that are, some of the best in the world. But other categories, such as things like camera housings, wetsuits, dry suits, hoods and gloves, bags. We actually partner with other companies such as Osprey, Waterproof, Underwater Kinetics, and CNC. And so we distribute those brands here in the US and other places in the world. So TUSA is not only a manufacturer, but we're also a distributor. And so uh, dive shops that carry the TUSA brand have access to all the other brands that we distribute.
Wow.
And that sort of gives us the best of all worlds.
Yeah, totally.
So we're bringing in, yeah, we're bringing in those really high quality products from other brands, and either labeling them as a TUSA product, or just giving the dive shop access to the whole portfolio of brands that we distribute.
Wow, man, that's amazing.
So that's very cool. You mentioned earlier about the 3-year warranty. That's very unique in the industry. But I'm going to ask you a little kind of side question. You see a lot of dealers, a lot of TUSA dealers all over the United States, or at least in your area. Talk to us about some of the techniques you've seen, or some of the programs that maybe have been the most effective from your experience at selling TUSA gear. Because this is Marketing Minutes,
yeah.
so it's a good marketing kind of related question. I know it's a little off of our script today, but I'm just curious as what your impressions are in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, the dive industry is really focused on getting people in the water. If we don't get people diving, then they don't have a need to buy new things. The more they dive, the more they break stuff. And then they have to come back and buy more things, and then they learn about a new class. And it's just that cycle of experience, education, and equipment that sort of are the feedback loops that make a business profitable. What I see successful retailers doing is putting the high quality equipment in the hands of the instructors, dive masters, guides that are the real leaders in those communities. And then their rental programs also have TUSA. So that way it's easy to try out this high quality gear. And then you got to have it in stock. So TUSA does a great job of offering, booking programs and stocking programs to really encourage retailers to have the items right there in the store. So when the customer sees the advertising that we do, that you do a great job of, and your partners do a great job of, and that's creating some interest in the products and the demand for the manufacturer, they come into the retailer and ask for it. And that's where the retailer can then push out more marketing that says, hey, this is the latest and greatest model. And then they're able to enable the consumer to walk out the door with it. And if you don't have all those pieces in place, then it's just as easy to go on Amazon. And as soon as these big companies start taking off the profit, then the small dive shops that provide everything from air fills and instruction and guided trips, they literally just disappear. I mean, in the Northeast, we've had 4 dive shops close in the last 2 months, and I only know of one that's opening up or expanding. Right. And so that's the wrong sort of formula.
Totally.
So yeah, I mean, TUSA does a great job of changing with the times as well. So we've got a product that we brought out a few years ago that's a modular fin system.
Oh, wow.
So typically you got to have a full size, checked bag to take a pair of scuba fins, because these are long and kind of big and heavy. We actually designed a series of fins that come apart, so you can actually store these in a carry-on bag. And then as we come out with new fin blades, you don't have to buy an entire new set of fins. You could just buy the new color, the new style blade.
Wow.
Or maybe you're going from a wetsuit to a dry suit. You could get just a new set of pockets that might be one size larger. And then, just recently we came out with these adjustable fin straps that are stainless steel. And so you can, these are one size fits all. You simply pull them apart, you can change the size, snap them back together, and it makes things easy for a retailer to stock, 50 different combinations of fins, even though they only own 4 different size foot pockets, 3 different blade styles with 3 different colors. You multiply all that together, and they're able to carry a much wider range of products for a customer and a much smaller footprint.
Totally.
That's
So
very
it's
cool.
that part of the innovation that we're not just developing cool new products for the consumer, we're making it easier for retailers to sell these products.
Oh,
That's amazing.
That's great. That's great. And so we're about 125 days to the DEMA show.
Getting closer by the
4
day.
issues of our magazine until we get there. I assume TUSA is going to have some great show specials for dive shops at the DEMA show. Is that correct, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, we have great specials all year long. Everything from a key man program for those professionals that are, mentors in the industry or the local community. Rental programs to get the stuff in at the lowest price and even finance that over 12 months. And then,
That's good.
periodically throughout the year, we have consumer facing, map reductions. But really at DEMA, we're trying to educate you on the new products. We have what's going to be coming out in a year from now. You can put your hands on it. So you need to be at DEMA to see these items. As a reward, we're going to give you the best price on them. You're going to be first in line to get them in your shop, and you're going to be thankful that you were there.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
So, off-topic question. When we were at the Long Beach show, I introduced you to Jeff Burtz, the owner of Small Hope Bay in Andros in the Bahamas. Did
Sure.
you ever go over there on your plane?
I haven't yet. I've got that route saved on my ForeFlight, and every time I get a little down, I look at it and I'm like, we got to go over there and do some fly fishing. So as soon as the weather's right and things calm down from the summer, we'll definitely be making a trip over there. I actually watched his episode that you did with him a couple months back, and I wish I was sitting on a beach talking to you guys right now.
I know.
Tell you what,
that was a great
Jeff's got it
interview.
worked out.
So
right.
right off of
Yeah.
his resort there is these beautiful coral gardens. I've never seen anything like it, at least in the Bahamas, and tons of pillar corals and that are 20 and 30 feet tall. So it's like swimming through this underwater forest of pillar corals. The diving really off Andros is spectacular.
Pretty
So
special,
make
yeah.
sure you plan a day or so to go out and enjoy some of that stuff. But that's great. Scott, thanks for being on our show. We look forward to catching up with you at DEMA. We're going to have
and
our
an
portable
honor.
studio going there, so maybe we'll
That's
drag
right.
you in for a little chit chat as well. And any
Part
last
2.
closing
Sounds
thoughts
great.
for us?
No, I just want to say I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I think this is a rising tide that picks up all the dive retailers, and I'm happy to do anything I can to be part of that.
Thank you, Scott.
Scott,
Thanks for
it's
being
an
our
honor
guest.
again.
Britton, who do we got lined up for our next show?
Next show, we are going to have Natalie Schumann, owner of Sun Divers in Roatan, and I cannot wait to hear about what's happening in Honduras right now.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
She was on our Level Up podcast a couple of
Not
months
too long ago.
talking about their eco resort down
That's
there.
right.
So that would
Yeah.
be a great
So
interview.
kind of continued
Scott,
conversation.
Exactly. Thanks again, Scott, and we'll see everybody at the next show.
That's right.